World. Okay. So we're on. We're live.
Yes.
Okay. You want to wait a few minutes? See if anybody hops on?
You
think you can see it there?
I'm not too sure. Here.
Okay. Let's give till 5:33 to get people on.
Nice sunny day in California.
Yes, it is. It is sunny.
And I'm still white, even though I'm in the sun.
Yeah. We had a good time today meeting the moms at school that were like, Indiana. Oh.
That's far.
Yeah. The weather's probably not very nice there, is it? No way. Okay. All right, so if you are currently on, we have a few people on. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes to give people a little bit of time to hop on. So you guys can just laugh at us having awkward conversation.
Yeah. I'm gonna say we can
I can't even think of anything to talk to you about right now.
I'm glad the kids are out of here. Bobby G took them to pizza.
Oh, yes.
Hayden wanted to stay.
Mm-hmm. She also wanted to take her own money. What was she wanting her own money for? What was she wanting to buy?
She wants to play games at the pizza parlor.
Oh.
You know, those useless toys and stuff?
Yes, that sounds like Nolan.
Yeah.
He plays the arcade games even without
money.
Yes.
Yeah, they used to fly for a while.
And she doesn't care for that anymore?
No. She does pretty good on the car one. I'm almost considering that she might be able to get a driver's license at 16. I don't know.
I don't even want to let... Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
No, she's not going to come to saying.
Okay.
It's a joke.
Okay.
She took the bus.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for jumping on this event. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Megan Pascal. I'm a Plexus ambassador and have been for about 2 years. And I'm from Indiana, but currently I am in California here with my friend Katie Grant. And we just want to thank you so much for getting on. We know that your time is super precious. We are all busy moms with juggling a lot of things in our life. And so we're super grateful that you got on. This call was originally geared toward special needs moms, of which we are them also, but also keep in mind that this call, the principles are far-reaching for any busy mom. It's really, 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 really important to Katie and I that you do not view this call as a sales pitch. Anybody that knows either one of us would know that that is not our personality or our nature. This is not a sales pitch. This is not a sign your life away or give us your next baby. But really, we just want to impart to you how important Plexus, the products in the business, have become in our lives. Not just what it's done for our health, but what it has done to give us hope in a rather tough assignment of being a special needs mom and just a mom in general. So we are advocates for our kids. And another way that we advocate for people now is we advocate for the body, the mind, and the soul. As a mom, especially special needs moms, it's super important that we are taking care of ourselves first and foremost. And so because we have decided to do that for ourselves, we now want to share that with other people. And for us, the Plexus opportunity has become way too good not to share. So it's really important that you hang on and listen to everything. This is not meant to be a sales pitch, but rather just sharing the hope that Plexus has brought to both of our lives. So To start off tonight, we are going to hand it over to Morgan Adams, a good friend of ours and a Diamond Ambassador in the company. And what that means, that's a really pretty word for she's hit the tip top and she knows her stuff and she means a whole lot to us. And so while we are starting with the products, because we decided to start with the products because that's where Katie and I both started ourselves, was with the products. It was time to intentionally take care of ourselves. So that is where we are going to start with you. And many of you asked when I invited you to this, what is Plexus? I don't know what it is. So Morgan is going to describe that in a nutshell and basically just describe for you the 3 main products that everybody needs. So we're going to hand that over to Morgan now.
Great. Thanks, Megan. Ooh, I'm getting a kickback, so this is going to be interesting. It'll be okay. I'll suffer through it. Okay. Well, thank you, Megan and Katie. I really appreciate you actually even asking me to help you host this call tonight, because I love opportunities like this to get to share about our products. I'm Morgan Adams, like she said, and I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, but I'm also a wife and a mom to 3 small kids, and I have had the honor of having both Megan and Katie on my team, and I attribute that blessing to Plexus because it connected our lives in a really great way, and I learned so many just good life principles from both you, Megan and Katie, watching you deal with your children and just all of your life goings-ons. They're slightly different than mine, but I will tell you that as much as I love these products, I love the opportunity because I love what it can offer all different people of all different walks of life, because we all have a story, don't we? And so I admire the Special Needs Mama so greatly. I love that I get to share an opportunity that can serve you so well. Because especially with the Special Needs Mama, you are such a unique person, unlike any other type of mom out there, with such a heart of sacrifice for your family, servitude to them, and a passion and a deep sense of advocacy to reach out and help. And that's why this opportunity in itself is also really great for a Special Needs Mama. And I hope that we can talk about that even more toward the end. But the products were really what drew me to Plexus as well. I was like you several years ago, knew nothing about it and just wanted to lose some baby weight. And so I tried the products for those reasons, and I benefited in health ways that far surpassed losing 20 pounds. But I love to share about the products with people, so I'm going to do that pretty quickly with you all tonight. We have a lineup of 17 different products, but tonight I'm just going to talk about a couple, the main ones that most people start with. I'm really proud of our products. It's just a really stellar lineup of supplements that address all the needs within the human body. They're plant-based, and Plexus really strives to be the most natural health and wellness product on the market, and they take a lot of pride in that. So I want to say that before we start, if you would consider your body like a garden, the different products that I'm going to talk about briefly are the ones that would really, it's kind of a overall company approach that we take in looking at the body like a garden, and considering the process of weeding, seeding, feeding the garden, and then protecting the garden. So if you're like me and you like a good example or a visual, kind of keep that in the background of your mind while I explain some of these products to you. So when you think about weeding that flower bed before you start planting your garden, and let me just pause for a second and say it's completely hysterical that I would even talk about planting or growing anything, because I can barely keep a fake plant alive. So it's pretty funny that I would even talk about that. But so if you're going to weed that garden, one of the most important products that we have, and my personal favorite, is our probiotic. It's called ProBio 5. And so this is going to be what really helps weed out all the bad bacteria in your gut. It is an incredible, I would put this up against any probiotic on the market. You're going to really clean out that flower bed, all way down to the deep soil in the matter, because that's how you truly start achieving kind of your overall health, like your optimal health that you're looking for. You've got to get all the bad stuff out. Nobody would go into a garden and just start planting a bunch of seeds without getting all the weeds out first. That wouldn't make any sense. And so it's a 3-in-1 fungal killer. It's got 5 probiotic strains used to kill all that bad bacteria or yeast. That bad bacteria is a result of just the Western diet in general, different medications that we take, antibiotics. If you've ever taken birth control, Motrin, any of those kinds of things, environmental issues, all of those toxins and things that our bodies intake, sugar, you know, all of those things that build up in our gut and eventually can start to leak out of the gut and basically attack our own body while we live, which is why we can feel really, really bad. Gut health is one of the leading health medically researched topics right now. There's a major reason why it's all you see in magazines and on the doctor shows and in health research articles and all of that kind of stuff, because they're finding that gut health is at the core of your overall health, and it must be addressed to really achieve optimal health. And so it contains an enzyme called chitinase that is what really breaks down that bad bacteria, and it makes it unique to our Plexus probiotic. So I cannot say enough about this product. I think that it is for absolutely everyone. I take this religiously. My children take it. If you don't know anything about gut health at this point, I would just urge you to do a simple search. Now, typically, I don't recommend Google being your main source of your research, but I can tell you that even if you take any ailment, migraines, insomnia, anxiety, fibromyalgia, PCOS, any of those things, you name it, rheumatoid arthritis, research, fill in the blank, and then gut health, and you will see a lot of supporting information to show you how there's so much linkage between the two. So our probiotic is what works to first start by weeding that garden out and weeding out that bad bacteria in your gut, so you can really start planting and moving on. The other part of the weeding is what's involved is our product called BioCleanse. And so don't be terrified of this like I was in the beginning. I was the first person to say, I am absolutely not taking an item called Cleanse because I work a corporate job and sit in meetings all day, and I'm not trying to lose my dignity at work. And so I want to tell you that do not be afraid. This is a daily gentle cleanse used to remove those toxins. So this probiotic is working overtime. Let me tell you, it is getting all those weeds out of your garden. But those have to be removed from your body. They cannot just continue to remain in your body. There is a statistic, a fact that says that the average person has about 8 pounds of feces in their body. That's really like, wow, 8 pounds? I mean, okay. So we can move on from there. But yeah. So that, like I said, that probiotic is really working to break down all that bad bacteria, and you just got to get it out of your body, plain and clear. And so this product also contains magnesium. I think that up to 80% of people are deficient in magnesium, and magnesium regulates over 300 different functions within the body. So most people are deficient in magnesium and don't really realize it unless they're, eating, I don't know how many cups of broccoli you'd have to eat a day to replace that, but it would be far, far, far more than I ever would eat. So BioCleanse is a great companion to the probiotic, and it is the main set of products involved in what's called our triplex. The triplex is just a grouping of 3 products that the majority of people start on because it addresses all the main health issues that need to be addressed in the body: inflammation, toxin removal, and blood sugar regulation. And so this trio of products is really, really incredible to get your body just balanced, to where it can work to help you lose weight. But if you are drastically underweight, it would help you to gain weight. It's really, really used to balance your body for what your body should be at, if that makes sense. So, so if you're continuing to think about that garden, you can also use another product that would help in the seeding department. Now, this is a product that is really, really stellar and unique to Plexus. It's called Vital Biome. But I will say about this product, I very much urge my customers and our ambassadors to start with the triplex itself and then later incorporate the Vital Biome. But the Vital Biome has 20 billion colony building properties. It's clinically tested. It is an intelligent probiotic, so that means it knows how to go in and seed the good bacteria instead of the bad bacteria. So that would be like continuing to leave weeds in your garden and then putting Miracle-Gro on the weeds. You would not want to do that, right? It could cause a lot of issues for your body, but it knows how to continue to feed just that good bacteria. It also helps stabilize the body's response to stress. So, AKA, this is a happy pill. I'm not a doctor, so I'll just call it a happy pill. But it is clinically tested for that and has been very, very effective with people for that reason. And so I do highly recommend the Vital Biome for that reason, but used as a later companion to the triplex. And then we have our Slim. So our Slim, typically I start by talking about that product, but I really wanted to give you that garden analogy and help you work through this process and see how your body really has to get to the root of the issue to get to where you want to go. You can't just come in and continue to put Band-Aid fixes, more prescriptions and more medicines and more this and that on top of issues that you have. We have to get to the core cause, the root cause, and we do that by addressing gut health. And so the next product, which would really be the feeding of the garden, is our Plexus Slim. And so this is a really incredible product. For starters, I think this is an incredible product because it comes in individual stick packets that you pour into a bottle of water. I want to be very clear to say that this is not a meal replacement. That was really important to me when I started Plexus. I started just for weight loss in the beginning. And so I had tried lots of different things and I did not want to drink my food any longer. Like I just knew I had tried those things. It did not work. I did not find it to be sustainable. I wanted to sit down and enjoy a meal with my family. I did not want to drink some frothy shake while they got to eat food. It just did not work. And so I loved that this was something that I could take with me on the go in the mornings, pour into a bottle of water, and I still got to eat. It helped me make a lot better choices. I will tell you that it really altered my taste buds. I wasn't as inclined to want to eat all the sweets. I really started drinking a whole lot more water. And so for those reasons, I was very drawn to this product and it really, really, really worked well for me. But there were lots of things I didn't even know about it in the beginning. I had no idea why it was even working great for me. It wasn't until later that I really started learning about the products and seeing, wow, like these are really amazing. Like this is doing some really, really good stuff for my body. And so what this product's intent is to balance your blood sugars. It's shown to lower cholesterol. It's going to regulate your lipids and insulin levels. And it's also clinically tested to promote weight loss. It also contains something called XOS, which is a prebiotic fiber. It's only prebiotic fiber on the market that feeds only the good bacteria. So that's really important as well. You could, however, go out and just buy prebiotic fiber on the market and drink some of it, but you would never get the results that you would by adding it with Slim, by pairing it up with Slim. And the reason for that is that because Plexus Slim also contains polyphenols. And so polyphenols are what's found in really, really rich fruits and vegetables that our body really needs. And polyphenols are proven to be preventative for diseases such as diabetes and Alzheimer's and different really debilitating diseases like that. And so that's really cool that that all of those types of ingredients are included in such a really good product for you. And on top of that, it tastes really good. So for starters, that was one of my main concerns, is because I just knew I could not stick with anything that was gross. I just couldn't do it. I had tried before, and I would get like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month, and I would give up because I just could not gag down really gross things. And so this product is really good, and that was important to me. It tastes kind of like a watermelon, maybe like Tootsie Pop or something like that. So anyway, I love that it tastes good. It's very convenient for you moms that I'm sure are always on the go, and maybe your schedule looks different each morning, or your schedule is solely dedicated to a child who has a lot of needs first thing in the morning. This is an amazing product because it's so easy to use. You're not like getting the blender out and mixing up this and doing that. If you can grab a bottle of water and shove this stick packet in your pocket and even drink it on the way back after dropping your kids at school or whatever is convenient for you, this is a really, really great product. And so, this also contains, this is a big deal for the weight loss portion, it also is proven to increase akkermansia. And so akkermansia is what causes your body to burn fat. Hallelujah. And so that has been proven by up to 200 times. It furthers the effectiveness of akkermansia in your body. So all the praise hands for that. Anyway, the last thing I will tell you about is our X Factor Plus multivitamin, which I totally forgot to bring the bottle up here, but the bottle looks similar to this. Just pretend that it says X Factor Plus. So I'm really, really proud of our multivitamin. Everybody should be taking a multivitamin. It's so important, especially for women and a lot of the deficiencies that we have that are linked to major health issues. Our X Factor Plus specifically contains minerals. That's really important. It's completely plant-based, even the capsule. I will tell you that it is an incredible product if you have thyroid issues or Hashimoto's, because it converts the T4 into energy. So I had to have my super, super crunchy, very smart friend tell me that, because I was like, why do we always recommend this for people with thyroid issues? And it's because it contains something called psyllium, and that in itself is what converts that T4 into energy for you. So it's really effective for people that suffer with thyroid issues. Also helps with things like concentration. If you struggle with brain fog, it boosts your metabolism. And then our X Factor Plus multivitamin has also been proven to reduce hot flashes, a symptom of, premenopausal type things or menopausal type symptoms. So it is a bioavailable vitamin, which is really, really important when you're considering a multivitamin for your body. And that just means that it is the most available to be absorbed into your body. And then it's fully methylated. And it also contains a lot of vitamin D. And I really can't say enough about how important vitamin D is to your body, but it is also directly linked to hormone deficiencies if you're deficient in vitamin D as well. So the X Factor Plus multivitamin is just an incredible product, especially for women out there who, we all know we enter those stages of life where we really start to struggle with like hormone stuff and all of this and that and different deficiencies. And as moms of even special needs kids, I'm sure that there are many, many times where you don't get to sit down and eat the types of meals that you wish that you could, and you're always in a hurry. And who in the world, is able to consume massive amounts of either yogurt or broccoli or whatever? It's just very difficult to sustain that type of lifestyle. Not that we shouldn't strive to eat healthy and make good choices, but it's just so important that we continue to supplement our bodies, just because of the Western diet, and even organic foods are just not produced the way that they used to because of the deficiencies in the soil, because it's been overturned so many times. So even for people, I have thousands of people on my team at this point, but even for those who say, look, I already make tons of really great health choices, I eat all organic, I exercise, I work out, I really, most of those people still do take supplements as well, but for the ones that think that they don't need any, I really encourage you to look more into that, because there are just some just some deficiencies that we can't avoid because of the Western diet and the Western civilization. And I'd be happy to share a lot more with you about that, or connect you with people that also share that same lifestyle, and see how the products have benefited them as well. I am really proud to say that Plexus is comprised of such a unique group of people, including a lot of health professionals, medical professionals, and doctors of all sorts, and holistic health coaches, and certified dietitians, and all those things that fully endorse our products, that see how quality of a supplement this really is. And, you know, what I always tell people is there's nothing in here that is like magic, even though you can read hundreds and thousands of our testimonies where people really felt like Plexus completely saved their life, that what it did for them was so life altering that they do feel like it was like magic, a miracle. I mean, amazing. But y'all, all this really is just natural ingredients that God gave us on this earth, and Plexus has figured out how to put them together into a super effective way that the average person can incorporate into their daily life. And I think that in itself is just brilliant. And so I am excited to hear Megan and Katie share with you tonight a little bit about their story. And I'm just thrilled that you gave us a little bit of your time tonight. And I would love for you to ask any questions that you have and give Plexus a try. So I'll pass it back over to y'all.
All right. Thanks, Morgan. I just wanted to say for the record real quick that Katie and I did not plan on dressing alike.
I was thinking the same thing when Morgan was talking. I'm like, we're both in black.
We are. We're like matchy-matchy.
My shirt says you can do it, and hers says Plexus.
Yeah. So, disclaimer. We did not mean to be matchy-matchy. But
we look pretty cute in black.
Sure. Yeah. Black's our color.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you.
I think you guys can figure out why just from the basic description, what drew us each individually to Plexus on our own. And so I'm actually going to let Katie share a little bit of how she came to Plexus.
Thank you. Just a little bit about me. I'm a Plexus ambassador, and I'm in Southern California. And I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I have over 17 years of law enforcement experience, 10 of which I was an emergency police and fire dispatcher. So sales was not on my radar. I was just really good at telling people where to go and what to do. I am the parent of 2 daughters. My 10-year-old has special needs, Williams syndrome and Chiari malformation. And I am a step parent of 2 older kiddos. I started the products because I was, like the cliche, sick and tired of being sick and tired. I even know Dave Ramsey uses that. But I would fall asleep on the floor after tucking the girls in at 7 o'clock. My husband was still downstairs, hoping that I might come back down and watch TV with him. I was exhausted in the morning. I was drinking 5 to 6 cups of coffee a day to function, and I wasn't even functioning well. So I saw Megan talking about gut health and how it's all relative to where you can have more energy. And I also, no matter what I ate, I felt bloated. I looked bloated, and I just wasn't overall feeling well. And the last 2 years have been really difficult with Kaden, my daughter's health. She had brain decompression surgery October 2015, which took a toll on me physically, not just emotionally, but we were in LA for 5 days, and it was just exhausting. Just in the months leading up to it, it was exhausting. Excuse me. So when I started the products, within a couple weeks, I felt more energy to where I didn't even realize I was only drinking 2 cups of coffee versus the 5, and I was not falling asleep on the girls' floor anymore. And then weeks later, months later, more and more health testimonies for myself started to arise, to where just conversation with Megan, with Morgan, with my husband, to where, hey, this doesn't hurt anymore, or you look different, and just you're acting different. And even my kids, within a couple months, it was like, why are you always so happy? And anybody that knows me, I am like joyful and loud, and I'm always very peppy and happy. So just for my kids to see, because, you know, at home, I was a grouchy girl, I guess. But as far as like the company goes, I was within a network marketing company a couple years prior, and it seemed pretty much impossible to earn any sort of income with them. And then just within 10 days, I was already making money with Plexus. And I found myself telling people about the products just as I would share about my favorite Mexican restaurant, to where it just came naturally. And then once you see your family, your close friends, their lives changing, you just want to reach out and tell everybody about it, to where we all need it. It's not a product to where it's only for women, it's only for kids. It truly is for everybody. So, and then the financial freedom for myself, I was able to quit my full-time job last summer, and it's allowed more time for Bristol to do, my youngest, to do activities. Being a special needs sister, she kind of gets put on the wayside with therapy, in and out of the house and doctor's appointments. So she's now in dance class, she did gymnastics. So she's very excited to where I'm home, to where I'm able to do that, take her to those kind of places. And I've actually traveled more in my life the last year than ever before. So even just little weekend getaways.
Yep, awesome. So my journey with Plexus started about 3 years ago. I've been struggling with health issues as well. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, and also struggled big time with migraines that really only seemed to get worse as I was having kids and the hormones. But I also didn't have polycystic ovarian symptoms until our youngest came, who was born with Williams. And I've heard the phrase that a lot of times stress and traumatic life events can wake the sleeping giant of disease within the body. And I think because I was diagnosed at a young age with it, and it kind of lay dormant until life got really tough. And so from about 28 to 35, I really struggled health-wise. It was kind of just like a slow decline. Struggled with severe monthly symptoms, acne, also migraines got worse, incredible fatigue, anxiety and sadness that just wouldn't go away. And honestly, I got sick so slow that it almost felt like this was just aging. It was just normal life. But my biggest symptom that really bothered me the most, and this is vanity at its finest, was I was losing large amounts of hair, to where I thought, I do not want to be one of those women that has bald spots, right? So not that anybody wants that, but I was willing to fork out just about any amount of money to not be one of those women. And so I saw my sponsor Amber posting for a while leading up to it, and I finally just reached out and was like, okay, seriously, how great is this stuff? Like, how good could it really be? And so I actually started drinking Slim, not consistently. I built up a surplus on my counter. I was one of those people that drives every ambassador crazy. But I also got to a point where I felt guilty a couple months later with like 3 bags of the pink drink sitting on my counter that I'd spent the money on it and I wasn't using it. So I decided every day I'm drinking one. And eventually the surplus ran out and I was too cheap to go buy more. And so I'd been about 2 weeks without a Slim, and my husband Brandon looked at me and said, "What is wrong with you? I don't know what happened. I don't know what you were on, but I need you back on it." And so that's when we had a real serious discussion about just how much Plexus was helping me. And so I got back on the pink drink and actually started taking the triplex full time, because I thought, man, if I'm noticing this amount of difference with just the pink drink, imagine what the full meal deal of the gut health, inflammation, and blood sugar regulation would do for me. And so at that time, I was on a medication to regulate polycystic ovarian syndrome, and 6 months of consistent use, everyday use, obviously making some healthier choices in my life and realizing that my health was of the utmost importance to my family, I was able to drop that medication. And so now fast forward to being on the products a year, I distinctly remember that spring 2 years ago when we owed $700 on our taxes. And for those of you that don't know, my husband is a teacher. And so nobody's getting rich at the Pascal household on a teacher's salary. So I remember we also owned a mowing business at the time, and I remember owing $700 on our taxes that year. And someone reached out to Brandon to do a mowing, or not a mowing job, but a mulch job, a huge mulch job. And she was going to pay $700. And I remember getting a sitter for the kids. And I remember watching him. I went with him so that I could help. And I remember watching him, my sweet, sweet husband, the hardest worker I know, do that hard work for really just to hand that money back out. And that broke my heart. And I also remember having $15 in the checking account for the next 5 days and feeling guilty for taking care of myself. And so after that, we were sitting at dinner, and I remember saying to him, I think I'm going to put myself out there and just share these Plexus products. I mean, I've been on them for a year. Obviously, they've done wonders for me. You know, if nothing else, I could just get my products for free. And then it's, you know, it's a non-issue in the budget. And of course, in true Brandon fashion, he's like, you can do whatever you want to do. I fully support it. And so 2 years ago is when I finally started sharing the products because of what they had done for me. Very, very quickly did I see that earning enough money to pay for my products was just a small piece of the Plexus puzzle of what I could do. Over that summer, I couldn't believe just sharing what they had done for me and being consistent and loving on other people, how it turned into a business and something that I could do for the rest of my life.
And how many people out there felt the way we felt?
Yes.
And feel worse than we felt, and not rock bottom yet, but that needed the products as much as we did originally.
Yes. It became very clear that I was not the only one foot in front of the other, trudging through each day. Really, my body had just become an empty shell, and I was definitely not enjoying the life God had given me, and I was not I was not enjoying my life. And so that's how Plexus came into the picture for me. Also, I have an English degree from Purdue University, Boiler Up. I have zero sales experience. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. I have zero sales experience. This is not a looking for people, you know, that can check off the boxes of all the amazing qualifications of a Plexus ambassador. If you have a will to learn, a passion to love on other people, and a good why you might do this, Plexus is definitely for you. So we have 5 good reasons of why Plexus is for any mama, but especially the special needs mama. And so I'm going to let Katie share her first one.
My first one is another close community. I know I'm part of several Facebook groups with Williams syndrome, Chiari, scoliosis, to where someone will post something and I am quick to give them what's worked for me, my kid, my family, and maybe others that have similar situations. And I don't know about you guys, but more and more comments, and I tried that, I didn't try that, I'm going to try that. And so when someone says, I have consistent migraines, my first thing is, this is my answer. This is what helped me. So it's very natural to do the same thing when we advocate for our kids and reach out for answers on how to fix a situation, a behavior, an issue, to where we're able to easily just intertwine that in our daily life with positive information, life-changing products, and business information.
Yeah, and I just want to piggyback off that a little bit. I did not realize how hermit-like and retreated I had become until I was plugged into this Plexus community, for sure. Our specific team as well. I know Brandon felt the same way when we got plugged in and started building relationships with not special needs parents, but just people with the same values and purpose. It really breathed fresh. It was a breath of fresh air for us. So one thing I wanted to share was why Plexus is for you is because it gave me a place and a purpose outside the stress of the day-to-day. I think Katie and I have talked about this a lot, that when you become a special needs parent, you kind of just you're thrown into almost the mentality of a soldier. You're in a daily battle every day for your kid. Their rights, their being understood, and raising awareness for their condition. If you're not a Williams mama. But we are advocates, moms and special needs moms. We are advocates for the rights of our kids and passionate about raising awareness. And we are helpers, lovers, and feelers. So often we fight hard in the little bits of day to day, really with no reward or feeling like we get anywhere. At least I feel that way.
Yeah. You
are constantly tweaking things to make behaviors better, and to make sleep better, and to make eating better, and to make fine motor better. But sharing the gift of Plexus allows fulfillment and purpose, because you are able to help others and see more instant results. So that's like our natural nature that sometimes we don't see come to fruition with our kids right away, but we see that when we're able to help others with Plexus. So don't underestimate the power of hope that comes with helping others.
Yes, absolutely. I read somewhere that health and wellness is the most profitable industry in the world, that people spend more money on health than anything else. And again, that brings it back to women, men, and kids wanting to feel better, wanting to get to that next step, whether it's they're already at the CrossFit, at the gym, to where they want to go that next level of their athletic abilities, I guess you could say. That we're very in tune to our kids' health, their medical issues, being consistent with their routine, whether it's feedings, therapies, behavior intervention, things like that, to where it's very easy to intertwine this into our lives as well. That a lot of our kids are already on medication. I know one of the first things I put Kaden on was the ProBio 5, and she's on medication. And with very soon, you could see a difference in how her digestive tract was working, if you could put it that way.
She was pooping better.
Yes. And my constipated kid was pooping a lot better with BioCleanse. But word of mouth advertising is most affordable. We already do it. Again, like I said, with the Mexican restaurant, someone's saying, where do you get your hair done? You're going to tell them what good and bad and the ugly that you've experienced. Let's see, that people seek out our help as special needs parents. We're always happy to share about our experiences, whether it's doctors or therapists. That's my number.
Okay.
3.
So number 4, you can make money with a flexible schedule. And I had no idea just how valuable this is. And you're thinking right now, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I work a full-time job. I have 3 kids. We do therapy, this and that. So-and-so is playing baseball.
That's your life last year.
Oh, right. I'm totally describing
interesting.
that. But you can do this on any schedule. How many of us work a full-time job? How many of us are living paycheck to paycheck? How many of us are in debt? How many of us are overwhelmed with the behavior report that comes home from school, or needing to leave our job because somebody got sick or got in trouble at school? Who's overwhelmed with work, kids, activities, and for the special needs mom, the therapies, the IEP meetings, and the added stress of unusual behavior? Plexus is the answer. So one thing I definitely wanted to share was some of the most unordinary places that I've worked from. So I'm no longer going in and clocking in and out on a daily basis, but places I've worked from. I've worked from the therapy office. I've worked from the softball field. I've worked from swim meets. I've worked in the car rider line. I've worked from bed. I've worked from the park, and I've worked from the beach. Those are just places that I could think of off the top of my head. I've gotten up really early in the morning with a bananas day and gotten in Plexus work before 6 a.m. I've stayed up late at night, although Morgan and Katie know that that's very rare because I like to go to bed. So for me, I'd rather get up at 5 a.m. and get it done. But if you're a late night person, put the kids to bed and you're able to work.
Yeah.
For me, I had to think about, what could $500 a month do for my family? What about $2,000 a month? What if you could replace an income and be at home? In less than a year, I doubled my income that I was, now granted, I didn't have a corporate job. I wasn't replacing a large salary, but the job I was doing that I felt like I was constantly having to, I was missing work because of this and that and sick kids and running around and whatever. I doubled that income in less than a year. So for me, that was super huge. What would it mean for your family, and what would it mean for you if you could replace an income and work from home and be more available for the therapies and not have to call in sick and not feel the stress of a day-to-day job? What would that do for you? What would it do for the mental health and the trajectory of your family? It's meant huge things to my family, and we're still mainly on the teacher's income. It's not like you know, we're getting rich, but it sure is a different life having the financial and time freedom. So a few stats that I think are really important to share. A new home-based business starts every 12 seconds. Plexus has around, I don't think it's quite reached this number, but 600,000 ambassadors worldwide. Well, 600,000 of anything sounds huge, except for the fact that that's like a blip on the radar of human beings across the world. 70% of Americans would prefer to be self-employed. Anybody else feel that? I really enjoy being self-employed. Plexus, and the best thing about Plexus providing that is that it provides a consumable product, which yields repeat customers, which yields residual income. 70% of home-based businesses succeed, as opposed to 30% in a traditional business. And I also heard the stat that 80% of home-based businesses that work the business for 5 years reach the top of the company, which is huge. If you think about that, how long would it take you to reach the top of what you're doing and currently, and the top of what you're currently doing, how much money is that providing you? And what are your hours looking like? I know in education, there ain't nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be an administrator and it sucks the life out of you.
I was just looking for two. There's Plexus is very different as far as how we get paid. There's I think two main, I don't have this in front of me, two main ways network marketing companies funnel, intertwine, however we're going to say it. And Plexus is the only one with their way of paying. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
They definitely give more than 50% back to the ambassadors. It's not top heavy
Right.
to where, like I said before, I was part of a different network marketing company, and there's no way I could have gone anywhere with it. And I was working a lot harder. I was doing the parties, and we don't do parties.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And then also, as moms and special needs moms, we are the most trusted community, and we share our world and our struggles with those around us anyway. So why not this?
Yeah,
that was number 4. So
my last one is the fact, no inventory, no personal delivery. We have a site, people order, it gets shipped right to them. And like she said, it's every month that it's that residual income, because people need the products. And once most of our people, once they try it and they feel better, that's like a lifelong customer for us. We have less than 1% return rate on our products. And with the inventory, I could only imagine what my house would look like if I had a stack of stuff somewhere and my kiddo was to go through it. She's 10 now, so she's better, but I bet you she would try on all those t-shirts and zip them out of the bag, and it would have just been horrific.
she'd have the makeup all over her face too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lotion everywhere.
Yep.
So we also have low startup costs of $34.95. That's $34.95, to where I know I paid it, and we have a special for April that you're pretty much joining for free. You can start your business for practically nothing, like $4.
Right. You're already buying the supplements to take care of yourself anyway. And so $34.95 to start your own home-based business is nothing. So did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No.
Okay. So what I just want you to think about is, are you taking care of yourself? Are you being intentional with your self-care? This is something that is heavy on my heart. It's something that's very hard, not as much anymore, but was very hard for me to do in the first place, because when I think about taking any amount of money out of our family budget to take care of myself, I freeze. Because as moms, and especially special needs moms, we don't want to do that. We think
It's that copay.
I can't do that because of X, Y, Z. But one thing Brandon said to me when he noticed a difference when I stopped using Plexus was there's no price tag for your health. And that is something that has really stuck with me. A lot of us are looking at a future of caring for our kids long term. And I mean, sorry to bring that up, but that's just the reality of our situation. And when you think about looking into adulthood, for me personally, I don't want to look at Nolan's adulthood with me gone or sick. I want to be around to be able to care for him if need be. I don't want that job to fall on our daughters or anybody else. And I want to do it. I want to be around for him. He's like my sunshine. I want to do that for him. And I also want to be around to be with Brandon and to love him long term. So I want you to think about whether or not you are purposefully taking care of yourself. What type of legacy do you want to leave behind for your kids? For me, my choices were, I did not want to hear my kids say that they watched their mom drown in sorrow, sadness, and stress, which is where I was, sick in sorrow, sadness, and stress. That's a lot of S's.
Yeah.
Really glad I don't have a speech impairment right now. Or I want to hear them say, I watched my mommy purposefully take care of herself and others and thrived because of it. So I want you to think about whether or not you're purposefully taking care of yourself, what that looks like for you, and consider blessing others with it.
Yeah. Our kids watch us, typical or not, special needs or not.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so I think that's all I had. What about you? Morgan, do you have anything last second you want to add?
Yeah, absolutely. You ladies did such a great job. I love to hear you talk. And I know that just from you guys sharing with me, you really have a great community of people. And I know that the Plexus community itself is appreciated by you guys for that reason, just because it is yet another really tight-knit community of very positive-minded people that are very goal-focused. And goal-focused meaning focused on who can we reach that needs this opportunity? How can we help someone else is where our hearts are. And along that way, we get compensated very, very well. It took me a long time to not feel tacky talking about money because I do come from a very corporate background and that's just very taboo. And it is in any other line of work, it is. But I have put that to the side and I very openly tell people what the earning potential is with this because it is a very, very real thing and it can, you know, money is not everything, but it can drastically change your life. It can alleviate a lot of tensions that cause stress and sickness. And in turn, you can do a lot of good when you have money on your side, you know? And so I have counterparts and Plexus sidelines and different people that also are moms of special needs children who have done some of the most amazing things with their income, starting foundations and orphanages and you name it. And it is so compelling for such the bigger picture here, such a greater purpose. What you all do every single day matters so, so much. And you can do even more than that. I mean, because obviously you have that skill set, that deep passion, that desire, that work ethic, that sacrifice, and just think what you could do with that if that was magnified even more. And so I do want to be very direct and tell you that coming from a very corporate background like I did, working for a very large corporation for many, many years, I have never seen a return on investment like this one. And I also was a network marketing snob because I just was not I just did not know that when you partnered with the right company that you could ever earn like this. I thought that you basically, either made enough to pay for your own product and that was about it, which, hey, that was great. And that was really my only intent in sharing anything in the beginning, making a few couple random Facebook posts, just seeing if I could pay for my own product. Because despite the fact that my husband and I both had very good jobs, we were paying $1,700 a month in daycare for 3 children. So there's just not a whole lot extra after that. And so I just thought that was fantastic that I could earn a little spending money. And once I got into it, I really saw that it was so much more than that. I was able to reach the very top of the company shy of about 2 months, working full time that entire time in a 3-year span. So I will also tell you that within the first 11 months, so just a little bit shy of a year, in the first 11 months of sharing about Plexus, I matched my 6-figure income that I was earning at working for a corporation that took me almost 10 years to earn. So 10 years or 11 months. So because I have earned in a very conventional setting and I understand what that looks like to show up every single day and sit at a desk and do the meetings and the projects and, you know, that whole corporate life and get your little piddly 3%, you know, cost of living raise when cost of living went up 5%, you know, whatever. It's very difficult to truly get ahead in life and find pockets of opportunity where the return on investment is this big. The most important thing that you can do with any opportunity in life is create another opportunity. And so I really urge everyone in this call to consider that. What opportunities do you want in life? What does that look like for you? Do you have a heart to set up some sort of foundation? Or is it just as simple as going, I would be able to rest so much easier at night if I knew that I had a savings account built for my child in the event something went wrong with me, and your child's needs are going to look different if something, God forbid, happened to the parent in that situation. I mean, I am sure that those are the types of worries and things that may, you know, come about in your mind. What if this was an opportunity that relieves some of those kinds of tension? And what if nothing else, it was $500 a month? What would that do for you? Would that pay your car payment? Would that make it so you didn't have to work a part-time job? Would that, I love, Katie, I love your example that, you know, the siblings of special needs children, yes, I mean, how often do they just have to get pushed to the background? And, you know, because the other needs are just more, you know, and so I love that. I love that example that you said that you're able to be, one, so much more available to take them to these activities and events and whatever, and then pay for them. You know, that is a huge deal. That's adding to her life experiences. You know, all kinds of stuff like that. The top of our pay grade as a diamond, our average payout is around $400,000. And I think that is absolutely a ridiculous number to say out loud, but that is the reality of what this opportunity is. I feel incredibly blessed by it every day. I'm incredibly honored to even get to speak to a group of people as exceptional as you all. And I hope that something tonight really pierced your heart or made you think. If it did, there's probably a reason for that. And so I hope that if it does, that you will just kind of have the courage to just have a conversation about that with Megan or Katie, and maybe explore that, you know. So anyway, thank you all so much for your time tonight, and to Megan and Katie, and you did such a great job. And so I'm just as thankful as you for Plexus and the opportunity. So.
Yep, us too. I think that none of you are on here by accident. And so I just want you to know how much we love you, whoever you are. And thanks for being on. I know it's getting late on the East Coast, so thanks so much. And
thank you.
We will talk soon. Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you.